I said goodbye to my dying husband and walked out of that hospital room, thinking it was the end. But then I heard the nurses whispering, and what they said shattered my world forever. Let me take you back to where it all started. My name is Emily, and I met Jack when we were both in college. He was the charming guy with a smile that could light up any room. We fell in love fast, like in those romantic movies. Our first date was at a little coffee shop, where we talked for hours about our dreams. I wanted to be a teacher, and he dreamed of owning his own business. We got married 2 years later in a small ceremony with just family and friends. Life seemed perfect. We bought a cozy house in the suburbs, adopted a dog named Max, and started building our future together. But things weren't always easy. Jack worked long hours at his job in sales, and I was busy with my teaching career. We had our share of arguments, mostly about money or time, but we always made up. He was my rock, the one who made me laugh even on bad days. We traveled to places like the beach in Florida and the mountains in Colorado. Those memories kept us strong. Then, about 5 years into our marriage, Jack started feeling sick. It began with headaches and tiredness. We thought it was just stress from work. But when he collapsed one day at home, we rushed to the doctor. Tests showed something serious, a rare form of cancer. The diagnosis hit us like a truck. I remember holding his hand in the doctor's office, tears streaming down my face. He promised he'd fight it for us. Chemotherapy started right away. Jack lost his hair, his energy, everything. I quit my job to take care of him full-time. Our savings drained fast with medical bills. Friends helped with fundraisers, but it was tough. I'd sit by his bed at night, praying for a miracle. He was so brave, always joking to make me smile. But deep down I saw him fading. The doctors said the cancer was aggressive. They gave him months, maybe less. We tried experimental treatments, but nothing worked. Jack's body weakened, and he ended up in the hospital for good. I spent every day there, reading to him, holding his hand. Our conversations turned to regrets and what-ifs. He told me to move on after he was gone, find happiness again. It broke my heart. One evening, the doctor pulled me aside. "Emily, it's time to prepare. He's not responding anymore." I nodded, numb. That night I sat with Jack, whispering how much I loved him. He could barely speak, but his eyes said everything. I kissed his forehead and said goodbye, thinking it was our last moment. As I walked out, tears blinding me, I passed the nurse's station. And that's when I heard them talking words that would change my life forever. As I stumbled down the hospital hallway, my mind was a whirlwind of grief. But those nurses' voices cut through like a knife. "Can you believe he's faking it all this time?" one said. "Yeah, the tests came back. Nothing wrong with him." My heart stopped. Faking? Jack? It couldn't be. Let me explain how we got here. After the diagnosis, Jack's symptoms worsened quickly. He'd vomit after meals, complain of pain in his chest, and sleep most of the day. I managed everything, doctor's appointments, medications, even bathing him when he was too weak. Our home turned into a mini hospital with machines beeping and pills scattered everywhere. Friends visited at first, bringing casseroles and words of comfort. But as months passed, they drifted away. It was just me and Jack against the world. I'd cry in the shower so he wouldn't hear. He talked about our honeymoon in Hawaii, how we dance under the stars. Those stories kept me going. One day during a scan, the doctor found tumors spreading. "We need to hospice," he said. I refused at first, clinging to hope. But Jack begged me to let go. "I don't want you suffering too," he whispered. So we moved him to the hospital's palliative care unit. The room was quiet, with soft lights and a window overlooking a garden. Nurses came and went, checking vitals, adjusting IVs. They were kind, offering me coffee and shoulders to cry on. Jack's family, his mom and sister, visited sporadically. His mom blamed me somehow, saying I should have noticed sooner. Tensions rose, but I ignored it for Jack's sake. In his lucid moments, we'd plan my future. Travel the world, find someone who makes you laugh like I do. Felt like betrayal to even think about it. The pain meds made him drowsy, and he'd hallucinate sometimes, calling out names from his past. That fateful day I arrived early. Jack looked worse, pale, barely breathing. The doctor confirmed, "Hours left." I held his hand, recounting our wedding vows. "In sickness and in health," I said. He squeezed weakly. Saying goodbye was the hardest thing. I love you forever, I murmured, then left the room. Approaching the nurse's station, I planned to grab my coat and go home to grieve, but their chatter stopped me dead. He's been poisoning himself to fake the symptoms, one nurse said. The wife has no idea. Poisoning? My blood ran cold. I hid behind a corner listening more. Doctor found traces in his blood. It's all for insurance money or something. My world spun. Was my husband deceiving me? I couldn't confront them yet. I needed proof. Sneaking back, I peeked into Jack's room. He was alone, eyes closed. But then his phone buzzed on the table. I grabbed it quietly. Messages from an unknown number. Plan working. She suspects nothing. Payout soon. My hands shook. Who was this? Rushing out, I drove home in a daze. Our life flashed before me. Was it all a lie? I searched his office, finding hidden papers. Life insurance policies worth millions, recently updated. And a bottle of pills not prescribed by doctors. It hit me. Jack was faking his death for money. But why? We weren't that broke. Digging deeper, I found emails to a woman named Lisa. Can't wait to start over with you, he wrote. An affair? My heart shattered again. Back at home, I paced the living room, phone in hand, replaying those nurses' words. Faking it. Poisoning himself. Insurance. It sounded insane, but the evidence was piling up. I had to know more. The next morning, I returned to the hospital, pretending nothing happened. Jack was still dying, machines beeping steadily. How are you? I asked, forcing a smile. He groaned weakly. Not long now, Em. I nodded, but inside rage boiled. I cornered a nurse in the hallway. The one I'd overheard. What did you mean last night about my husband faking it? She paled. I can't discuss that. But I pressed, tears flowing. Please, I deserve the truth. She sighed, glancing around. Okay, but off the record. His latest blood test showed no cancer markers. Instead, high levels of a toxin like rat poison. Self-inflicted. Doctor thinks it's Munchausen or fraud. Munchausen? Jack craving attention? Or fraud for insurance? It didn't add up. We had debts, but not desperate ones. I thanked her and left, mind racing. At home, I hired a private investigator online, quick and discreet. Dig into Jack's finances and contacts, I said. While waiting, I confronted his sister over coffee. Did Jack mention any problems? She hesitated. He borrowed money from me last year. Said for treatments, but I suspected gambling. Gambling? Jack never mentioned that. I checked our bank statements. Hidden withdrawals to online casinos. Thousands gone. He was in deep debt to loan sharks. The PI called back fast. Your husband's been seeing a woman, Lisa, for 2 years. They plan to run away with insurance money after he dies. He's faking symptoms with slow poison to make it look real. Proof came in photos. Jack and Lisa at motels laughing. And forged medical documents. My world crumbled. The man I loved was betraying me in the worst way. I stormed back to the hospital. Jack was alone. Wake up, I hissed, shaking him. His eyes fluttered open, surprised. Em? What's wrong? Everything's wrong. You're faking this. The poison, the affair, the money. He tried denying, but I showed the evidence. How could you? I screamed. He broke down. I got in over my head with gambling. Lost everything. Lisa. She helped plan this. Thought if I died, you'd get the insurance, pay debts, and I'd start new. You'd leave me grieving? Destroy me. Tears poured. He begged forgiveness, but it was too late. Police arrived soon after. I tipped them anonymously. They arrested Jack for fraud and attempted suicide staging. Lisa too. As he was handcuffed to the bed, he whispered, I'm sorry. But I walked away, no goodbye this time. Healing took time. I sold the house, started fresh. Learned to trust again, but cautiously. Life's twists teach us strength. With Jack arrested, the hospital buzzed with scandal. Nurses whispered, doctors reviewed files. I sat in the waiting room, numb, as police questioned me. Did you suspect anything? An officer asked. No, I lied partially. Truth was, hints were there. His sudden relapses after arguments, mysterious phone calls. Flashback to months ago. Jack collapsed after I questioned a large withdrawal. Work bonus gone wrong, he said. Now I knew it was gambling losses. He'd dose himself with poison to simulate symptoms, buying time. The affair with Lisa started at his office. She was a colleague. Emails showed passionate declarations, plans to flee to Mexico. Once Emily collects the payout, we'll be free, he wrote. Heartless. Insurance company froze the policy, investigating fraud. I was cleared but left penniless. Friends rallied, helping with bills. Jack's mom disowned him, apologizing to me. In court, Jack pleaded guilty. I love Emily, but addiction took over, he said. Sentenced to 5 years. Lisa got 3. I visited him once in prison. Why destroy us? He cried. Fear. I couldn't face failure. Closure came, but scars remained. Rebuilding, I returned to teaching. Dated, eventually found a kind man. But trust issues lingered. Therapy helped unpack the betrayal. Looking back, our perfect marriage had cracks, his secrecy, my denial. Lesson. Pay attention to red flags. If you're in a similar spot, seek help early. Don't let deception ruin lives. Post-arrest, media swarmed. Wife uncovers husband's fake death plot. Headlines screamed. I hid from cameras, staying with a friend. Anonymous tips I sent protected me. Jack's letters from prison begged reunion. I'll change, he wrote. I burned them. Forgiveness? Maybe someday, but not now. Financially, I sued for emotional distress, winning a settlement from his hidden assets. Bought a small apartment, adopted another dog. Socially, some friends distanced, thinking I knew. Others supported. I joined a betrayal survivors group, sharing stories healed. Reflecting early signs. Jack's mood swings, unexplained absences. I blamed illness, but it was guilt. Advanced twist. PI found Jack had a secret child with Lisa. DNA confirmed. He planned to support them with fraud money. Confronting Lisa in court, she smirked. He loved me more. I pitied her. Years later, Jack paroled early. He tried contacting me. I changed numbers, moved states. Now happily remarried, 2 kids. Past haunts, but I'm stronger. Story shows. Love blinds, but truth frees. Digging further, I learned Jack's gambling started small poker nights, escalating to online bets. Lost our savings, borrowed from dangerous people. Faking death was his escape. Lisa encouraged it, researching poisons. They met in secret, plotting while I nursed him. Hospital records showed inconsistencies. Symptoms not matching cancer. Doctor suspected but waited for proof. Police raid found poison in our garage. Jack confessed everything. In therapy, I process grief. Not just betrayal but lost years. Advanced layer. Jack's family knew partially. His sister covered loans. She apologized profusely. Rebuilding trust took time. New husband understands my caution. Life's advanced lesson. Vigilance in relationships saves pain. Visiting Jack's mom, we cried together. He was always secretive, she admitted. Childhood issues fueled his lies. I wrote a book about it. Anonymized, helping others spot fakes. Media interviews followed, empowering me. Advanced revelation. Jack had multiple affairs. PI uncovered 2 more women. It hurt, but explained his distance. Now I advocate for fraud awareness, speaking at events. Strength from ashes. Moved to a new city, started a blog on resilience. Thousands followed, sharing stories. Met my current husband at a conference. Slow romance, full disclosure. Kids bring joy, erasing old shadows. Advanced. Jack relapsed in prison, real illness this time. Irony. He reached out for help. I declined. Focus on present. Key takeaways. Communicate openly. Check finances jointly. Trust gut instincts. If illness seems off, seek second opinions. Support systems crucial. Advanced. Psychological profiles of fakers. Narcissism. Avoidance. Educate yourself. Today, I'm grateful for the twist. It led to true happiness. If you're facing betrayal, know you're not alone. Heal, grow, thrive. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more stories. What's your take? Comment below.